Good afternoon. This video is entitled Enabling Which Robs Them. I am hoping that this is live and that it says live, so let's see. Because if it does the same thing as it did last time, okay, yeah, it is. Alafia, yeah, how you doing? Okay, let me continue. Okay, this one is called Enabling Which Robs. We're going through a space of time of ascension. You know, the whole planet is, whether, which deals with vibrations. Greetings, Zia. Which deals with vibrations. And you also know that there's a lot of things that we are, we have understood that don't serve our purpose anymore. Remember, we're talking about moving forward and what we need to do moving forward. So a lot of things that I'm being given is giving food for thought in order for us to move forward in life. So they gave me the thought process today about the ascension process, you know, when it comes to vibrations, and understanding that when you learn something and you go through something and you understand that, okay, this way doesn't serve me anymore, you kind of eliminate that out of your space and you vibrate higher. Well, you have people that vibrate at different levels, and that's just human nature. There's people that get it and there's people that don't, and that's okay, because everybody moves in the time frame that they need to move in. But remember, we also come here to learn lessons that we need for our soul's growth, in order to move forward, in order for us to ascend, in order for us to vibrate. Remember, vibrations, no two frequencies can occupy the same space at the same time. So you can't be spiritually elevated and then act very toxic, because, as I said, the two don't. The two vibrations are not equally matched. So it's either you are ascending, which means that your life will ascend, means your thought processes, your behaviors, your attitudes will ascend. The things that you used to do, you no longer do anymore. Or things that don't serve you, you no longer do. Or you stay in the low vibrational space and you see what that grows. Grows a lot more toxicity and just a negative space. So they gave me the understanding that when we are around people that exhibit toxic behavior, and we excuse their behavior or explain it away or give them reason for being the way that they are, we actually are robbing them of their own ascension process. We're robbing them of the teachings that they came here to learn. Because remember, we choose we choose how we behave. We choose to allow things to get to us, or we choose to allow things not to get to us. So when we allow somebody to continue with their toxic behavior and we explain it away or justify it, we rob them of their own journey. We rob them of the ascension process that is teaching them for them to do better. It's not easy, because sometimes you see people. There's two ways you could look at it. You could show somebody, okay, you know, the way that you're behaving, the way that you're acting is unnecessary, and you need to look at yourself, check yourself. But then if you keep, you enable them by giving them reason for doing it, giving them, explaining it away why they do what they do, and continuously doing what they do. You have to fall back, because you've learned your lesson that you need to learn in order to ascend. They have to do the same. We all get these. Greetings, Joanne. How you doing? We all get things in different times and different spaces, but the journey in itself is that if we continue to be around toxic behavior or toxic people, there's only two things that's going to happen. It's either they're going to see your behavior as you're ascending and want to aspire to do the same, or they're going to infect you with their energy and they're going to bring you down to their level. So you've got choices to make. And I'm just giving you observations to understand that we have to pay attention to these things, because in our own journeys, our own ascension, we're all ascending at different times, as I said, but our own ascension process is just as important as somebody else's. And we can't allow somebody else's behaviors or attitudes to infect or affect our own journey. So just to be aware, when you enable somebody to do the things that they keep doing, which is keeping them in a low vibrational space, you are actually robbing them of their own teachable moments or their own guidance or the spirit guiding them to ascend to a higher level. Because sometimes you have to be broken down in order to be built back up again, only because the things that you're doing don't serve your purpose. And we've got to a point where, like I said, the unity, in order for like mind to unify, you have to kind of be vibrating at the same space at the same times. So you're going to find that a lot of people are going to start falling away from your life, that even when you don't think they need to. If they're not vibrating in the direction that you're going, you know that you're moving forward, you know that you're falling back from being around or involving yourself in toxic situations, you'll be removed from them, or they'll be removed from you without you even trying, because that's just the way how ascension goes. The vibration that you attracting is going to be like-minded people, and that's the only way we're going to move forward. So like I said, moving forward, like minds are going to attract. So please, when you see somebody that's going through something and they are having a hard time in their own toxicity, they're always negative, always never got anything positive to say, they're always looking at the negative, this is something that they have to learn in order to change that. You can give them, at times, examples of stop being so toxic or negative, but if this is what they continue to feed into, you're going to have to step back and allow them to see that themselves in order for them to learn the lesson and move on from it and not be an enabler. Because as long as you enable people to do what they do, they're going to continue to doing it. Like I said, if there's somebody that's able to walk, but they're always being pushed in a wheelchair, if you keep pushing them, they're going to keep allowing you to do it. And that's the same way when it comes to toxic behaviors and toxic attitudes and toxic energies. If you continue to embrace it and act like there's nothing wrong, they will continue to do the same things over and over again. So you have a duty to the higher collective to allow people to learn the lessons that they need to learn coming in this world. We all have them. That's where the hard times come. They're not always hard times because we're deserving to have these hard times. They're hard times because they're lessons that we need to learn in order to ascend, in order to vibrate at a higher level, that those low-level energies cannot affect us anymore. So just bearing in mind, everybody has a lesson to learn. In order to move forward, we've got to pay attention to these things. As it stands, we're the savior, we're the gods, we are all of that's come to do whatever needs to be done in this world. We are the ones that's got to do it. If we're looking for an external force to do it, it's not correct. Now, what we understand is we allow the higher energies to influence us to do what's right and to, like I said, I get information flowing through me because I ask for it. I ask to be a vessel for information to come through. So the older ancient knowledge is going to come through us in order to affect the masses. That's what we do. So when you understand that, we understand that we all have lessons and it's a purpose for all of this. So again, bearing in mind, if somebody's being negative, somebody's being toxic, aggressive, all of that, sometimes just take a step back, allow them to go through their process because they need to learn the lesson. They have a right to ascend just as much as we do. And if we're always enabling them by justifying their behaviors, we do rob them from learning that lesson that they need to learn. And that's not helping them. It's not helping us. So, you can, I don't want to say judge, you can use discernment to see how that applies. Because sometimes some people are not aware of the things that they're doing. So when you bring that to their attention, they was like, oh, I didn't know I did that. Thank you. Now I'm more aware that I can now observe myself doing those behaviors and work on changing them. That's a different thing. But when you know somebody is negative with everything they say, everything they do, they look at the negative before they look at the positive. They've always got something negative to say about somebody else, or you're doing something and there's just negative, and you keep indulging in that, you are robbing them of learning the lessons of that space. Because as long as you're partaking of that with them, it's being shared, so to speak. That energy is being shared amongst you. If you don't want that and you are trying to vibrate higher, then you've got to step back. You have to step back in order to to keep ascending, because this is the process that we're in right now, ascension, and it's globally. Greetings, Scott. It's a global thing. So as long as you're understanding that as much as we're ascending, we're still learning, we're still growing. There's never a day that we're going to stop ascending. We're never going to stop learning the lessons that we need to learn in this lifetime. The vibration gets higher, then we just separate ourselves from things that no longer serve us. But that's the purpose, you know? But that's the purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, do what's right, and you can't have a problem. But again, this topic was basically about enabling people to continue with their toxic behavior and not allowing them, because you rob them of learning the lessons they came here to learn, okay? No matter what it is, you know, because we have people that do foolishness, and I wanted to say uckery, and we got people that explain it away. Like, it's okay for them to do that because whatever situation or position they're in, it's okay for them to do that. No, it's not. Because that energy that they're attracting, as long as you're partaking with them, you are going to be fed that same energy that they are giving out, or that it's coming to them. If you don't want that, then you have to take a step back and allow them to learn the lessons that they came here to learn. We all have our own lessons. It's just how we work through those lessons is how we move through them. You know what I mean? Some people stay stuck in them because they can't get over things. Other people move through them quickly because they understand that it is something that I need to learn. And once I've learned it, I don't have to repeat it again. Or by the time it comes back around again, I have more wisdom to work through it in another way. Instead of acting the same way as I did and thinking a different result is going to happen. It doesn't work like that. So again, allow people to go through the process that they need to go through in order to ascend. We're all on that journey, and we're all trying to vibrate higher in order to change the level of this planet. This planet needs help. We need love. Love needs to be the vibration that we're vibrating at as a collective, no individual, just person, but as a collective. And the only way we're going to do that is if we observe the things that we're doing to add to that collective. So I'm going to leave it there because that was a bit long enough. But don't forget, don't enable others to continue to be negative with the things that they do and just explain it away like it's okay. It takes courage. I'm going to tell you this now. It takes courage to step back from somebody that you've always been enabling and allow them to go through their process again. It takes courage because, you know, when you know that you feel sorry for somebody, or you